Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Anand Bhattacharya, coming up in the next 30 minutes. South Korea's president apologizes but does not resign ahead of impeachment vote. Syrian government loses control of fourth city of Daraa to rebels. Indians in Syria urged to leave amid the escalating conflict. Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri to visit Dhaka on the 9th of December amid attacks on minorities. In cricket, Travis Head's quick 50 helps Australia take the lead. India look to bounce back in the Adelaide Test. In a televised address to the nation, South Korean President Yoon on Saturday apologized for causing a public stir by declaring martial law, but has not resigned from office. Yoon said he would not seek to avoid legal and political responsibility for his decision, which he said was born out of desperation. He also promised that there will be no second martial law declaration. Meanwhile, the leader of the ruling party, Han Dong-yoon, said that an early resignation of President Yoon would be unavoidable.
I'm very sorry and would like to sincerely apologize to the people who were shocked regarding the declaration of martial law. I will not avoid any legal or political responsibility.
In a press briefing, South Korea's main opposition leader Lee Jae-myung said on Saturday that he will work hard to end President Yoon Suk-yeol's term early despite Yoon's apology to the nation.
The greatest risk facing South Korea right now is the very existence of the president. The only solution are the president's immediate resignation or an early exit through impeachment. I will do my utmost to ensure the president's resignation or impeachment.
As per reports, South Korea's parliament will proceed with the re-vote of the Special Counsel Act regarding First Lady Kim Kyun-hee at 8 a.m. GMT ahead of the impeachment vote, as she is facing several allegations from stock manipulation to accepting a luxury Dior handbag. As South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol faces an impeachment vote, let's understand the impeachment process. Well, once the impeachment is tabled by the opposition, the Assembly has around 72 hours to vote. Out of 300 seats, the ruling People Power Party has 108 members, while the opposition bloc has 192. For impeachment to pass, there would be a requirement of 200 votes, around two-thirds or 67% of the votes. Even if all of the opposition vote for the impeachment, at least 8 more votes from the President's party would be needed to pass the motion. Once the President is suspended, a constitutional court holds a trial, and a period of 180 days is what is needed to confirm the impeachment. Now, updates from Syria. Rebels in the West Asian country are taking control of major cities one after another. In the latest blow, the Syrian government lost control on Friday of the symbolic southern city of Daraa and most of the eponymous province, which was the cradle of the country's 2011 uprising. While Aleppo and Hama, the two other main cities taken from government control in recent days, fell to the rebel alliance, Daraa fell to local armed groups. The city has both strategic and symbolic importance. It is a provincial capital and is close to the main crossings on the Jordanian border. Syrian officials also left government buildings in Sweda on Friday and fled the mainly Druze southern province after local fighters took control of some checkpoints in the province. The Sweda governor, the police and prison chiefs and the local Baath party leader all left their offices in the city of Sweda. Meanwhile, thousands of people have fled homes as the Syrian city looks set to become the third to be captured by the rebels. The United Nations has reported that an estimated 120,000 refugees have already fled conflict zones for sanctuaries in the north since the conflict reignited, stoking fears that it could spark a mass migration. In view of the deteriorating security situation in Syria, several countries have issued advisories to their citizens, either living or planning to visit the West Asian nation. India's Ministry of External Affairs issued an advisory to citizens to avoid all travel to Syria until further notice. The MEA in its advisory has requested Indians currently in Syria to get in touch with the Indian Embassy in Damascus for any help, and updates at their emergency helpline number and email are available. It further said those who can are advised to leave by the earliest available commercial flights, and others are requested to observe utmost precaution about their safety and restrict their movements to the minimum. Earlier replying to a question regarding the situation in Syria, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal said that there are about 90 Indian nationals in the conflict-ridden country, among them several working with UN organizations. He said that the Indian Embassy is in regular touch with them.
We have noted that there has been recent escalation in fighting in North Syria. We are closely following the situation. There are about 90 Indian nationals, we understand. There are also several Indians there who are working with UN organizations. Our embassy is in regular touch with our Indian nationals for their safety and security.
The US State Department also asked Americans in Syria to immediately leave the country. Russia's embassy in Damascus also asked its citizens to leave Syria as rebel forces are taking control of major cities one after another. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky again condemned Russia's relentless attacks, emphasizing the devastating toll of its strikes on Ukrainian cities. Sharing a post, Zelensky wrote, "Russia's words mean nothing, but their bombs and missiles speak volumes." The Ukrainian president further criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin and said that he does not seek real peace. Whereas Zaporizhia Governor Ivan Fedorov said that the attack had set a car garage and service station on fire in the blast, posting images of a fire blazing with debris strewn across the street. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has officially handed over the first batch of Peklo, which are domestically developed and built long-range cruise missiles, to the country's armed forces. The president announced the development from his official X handle, saying that the missile that puts Moscow within range is now being geared up for full-scale production and operational use. A United States appeals court rejected TikTok's attempt to question the constitutionality of a law requiring TikTok to separate from its Chinese owners or face a US ban. The law, signed by President Joe Biden in April, would block TikTok from US app stores and web hosting services unless ByteDance, its Chinese parent company, sells the platform by the 19th of January. After losing an appeal in a federal court, TikTok said it would go to the US Supreme Court under the right to free speech to fight the ban. The US government alleges TikTok allows Beijing to collect data and spy on users. China and the company denied these claims. Let's now take a quick overview of the actions that have been taken by various countries against TikTok. Well, India was one of the first countries to ban TikTok in June 2020. The government cited national security and privacy concerns, accusing the apps of potentially sharing data with the Chinese government. Although TikTok is still accessible in Russia, users are mainly shown content generated within the country. TikTok has been banned on government devices in Australia since April 2023. Canada recently issued a directive to close TikTok's offices in Toronto and Vancouver, citing increasing concern over data privacy. Taliban banned TikTok in April 2022. Armenia temporarily blocked TikTok as well. Several European nations, including Austria and Denmark, as well as institutions within the European Union, have restricted TikTok on government-issued devices. In October 2023, Indonesia banned TikTok's shop feature, citing violations of local e-commerce regulations. Iran and Pakistan have intermittently blocked TikTok. Jordan banned TikTok following civil unrest in December 2022. Nepal issued a ban in November 2023. Somalia also blocked TikTok. Across these regions, governments share common concerns around data privacy, national security, and the platform's influence on social behavior. Moving on to some other stories, Romania's top court annulled an ongoing presidential election after accusations of Russian meddling and ruled on Friday that the entire process, which had been due to conclude this weekend, would have to be rerun. The second round had been scheduled for Sunday and voting has already begun in polling stations abroad. It would have pitted Călin Georgescu, a far-right pro-Russian candidate, against pro-European Union centrist leader Elena Lasconi. Georgescu scored single-digit numbers in opinion polls before the first-round vote on the 24th of November, but then surged to a first-place finish that raised questions over the result. Ghana holds a presidential and parliamentary election on Saturday amid hopes of an economic revival after the worst financial crisis in a generation, which led to a major debt default in the West African nation. Some provincial legislative results were expected by Saturday night and Sunday, while the presidential outcome is expected by Tuesday, although trends often allow an early prediction. Approximately 18.7 million out of Ghana's 34 million population are registered to vote. Angry French farmers criticize the EU-Mercosur trade deal, citing unfair trade standards, and they argue that this particular thing threatens local agriculture. The deal, which aims to establish a free trade agreement between the European Union and the Mercosur bloc, has sparked widespread concern among European farmers, particularly in France. Farmers are worried that the deal will flood the EU market with agricultural products from Mercosur countries. They argue that this would create an uneven playing field as European farmers are subject to strict regulations that are designed to ensure high environmental and quality standards, including measures to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, protect biodiversity and uphold animal welfare. Around 3 million people in parts of Wales and southwest England have been put on emergency alert as Storm Daraa approaches the UK. It is the largest use of the warning system yet and has been sent to the mobile phones of people in areas covered by the Met Office red weather in fact warning for the storm. Authorities say that the storm Daraa is expected to cause significant disruption, warning that strong winds can cause flying debris, falling trees and large waves, all of which can present a danger to life. The iconic Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris is set to reopen its doors to the public on the 7th of December, marking a huge milestone in the historic monument's recovery following the devastating fire in April 2019. The blaze, which engulfed the medieval Gothic masterpiece Notre Dame de Paris, caused widespread destruction, including the collapse of its spire and severe damage to its roof. In the aftermath, a massive restoration effort was launched, mobilizing architects, historians, artisans and engineers from around the globe. French President Emmanuel Macron, who pledged to restore Notre Dame within 5 years, hailed the reopening as a testament to collective resilience and human ingenuity. The reopening ceremony will be graced by world leaders, including newly elected US President Donald Trump, incumbent First Lady of the US Jill Biden, the UK's Prince William and other high-profile dignitaries. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. 21st December declared World Meditation Day at the UN General Assembly. International community lauds India's inclusive growth story. And in World Chess Championship, Di Gukesh and Ding Leren to clash again in the 10th game.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch connecting the dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live with me, Unman Bhattacharya. Spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs, Randhir Jaiswal, confirmed on Friday that Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri will be visiting Bangladesh on the 9th of December. During the visit, he will meet his Bangladeshi counterpart. There will be several other meetings too during that visit in which he will try to understand the prevailing situation in India's neighbouring nation. He will also take part in Foreign Office consultations between the two countries. This is the first major visit of an Indian official to Bangladesh in recent months that is suffering from violence against minorities, especially the Hindus.
Foreign Secretary is is scheduled to visit Bangladesh on 9th of December, and he will meet his counterpart, and there will be several other meetings during the visit. Foreign Office consultations led by the Foreign Secretary is a structured engagement between India and Bangladesh. We look forward to this meeting. We want to reiterate our position again that they have legal rights, and we hope that these legal rights will be respected and that the trial will be fair, transparent.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to visit Russia on Sunday to attend the 21st meeting of the India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation. During the visit, defence ministers of India and Russia will review the entire range of multifaceted relations between the two countries in the field of defence, including military-to-military and industrial cooperation. As part of the visit, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will also commission the Indian Navy's latest multi-role stealth guided missile frigate INS Tushil at Yantra Shipyard, Kaliningrad, and pay tributes at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Moscow to honour the Soviet soldiers killed during the Second World War. In remembrance of our soldiers, veterans and Indian Armed Forces martyrs, December 7th is designated as Armed Forces Flag Day each year. India celebrates this day to honour the valiant members and martyrs of the Army, Navy and Air Force. This day honours the sacrifices and unwavering dedication to preserving the peace, freedom and security of the country. On the occasion of Armed Forces Flag Day, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that the nation salutes the courage, valour, fortitude and sacrifices of the Indian Armed Forces.
सशस्त्र सेना झंडा दिवस हमें यह संदेश और साथ ही यह अवसर भी देता है कि हम सेवानिवृत्त सैनिकों, उनके परिवारों और वीर नारियों के प्रति अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को निभाएं। आप सभी अवगत होंगे कि हमारे जो सेवानिवृत्त सैनिक हैं अथवा उनका जो परिवार है, उनके बच्चे हैं, उनके कल्याण के लिए सरकार अपने स्तर पर हर वह कदम उठा रही है जो कदम उठाने चाहिए।
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is visiting Doha to participate in the Doha Forum in Qatar today. This is the 22nd edition of the Doha Forum under the theme, The Innovation Imperative. During the visit, he met his Norwegian counterpart Espen Barth Eide on the sidelines of the forum. The External Affairs Minister will travel to Bahrain on Sunday. There he will co-chair the 4th India-Bahrain High Joint Commission with his counterpart Dr. Abdullah Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani. Meditation is rooted in ancient practices and is an effective tool to achieve inner transformation and peace in the modern times. And to celebrate the process of connecting with the inner soul, 21st December has been declared as World Meditation Day at the United Nations, with India playing an instrumental role. India, along with other nations of the core group, guided the unanimous adoption of the resolution on declaration of 21st December as World Meditation Day at the United Nations General Assembly on Friday. India had taken the lead in declaration of 21st June, which marks summer solstice as International Day of Yoga by the UN in 2014. In a decade, it has become a global movement which has led to common people across the globe practicing yoga and making it a part of their daily lives. India is all set to witness diverse weather conditions in the coming days as the India Met Department predicts rain, snowfall, dense fog and a drop in temperatures across different regions. A new western disturbance is expected to bring showers to the northwest, while heavy rainfall is anticipated along the southern coast due to a cyclonic circulation. Punjab, Chandigarh and Haryana are forecast to have light isolated showers on the 8th and the 9th of December. The Met Department has stated that the new low pressure area is likely to form over the southwest Bay of Bengal and move in a west-northwest direction, approaching the Sri Lankan coast by the 9th of December. It is expected to intensify into a depression near Sri Lanka and Tamil Nadu by the 12th of December. As a result, the Met Department has forecast rain in the southern coastal districts of Tamil Nadu on the 12th and the 13th of December. Gaining praise on the international front, India's public digital infrastructure and inclusive growth has been lauded by Krishnamurthy V. Subramanian, Executive Director at the International Monetary Fund. In an interview to an Indian news agency, Press Trust of India, Subramanian said that the international community is applauding India's growth story. He further noted that though the world is bullish on India, the inclusive growth that India has pursued over the last decade is also something that comes up for appreciation. Time now for all the sports action. Despite losing a few early wickets, Australia are on the driver's seat against India on day 2 of the second test match at the Adelaide Oval. Jasprit Bumrah provided India early breakthrough in the first session, but Travis Head and Marnus Labuschagne fought back and steadied Australian innings. Head reached his half-century in just 63 balls and is still at the crease alongside Mitchell Marsh. Earlier on day 1, Mitchell Starc's onslaught saw Australia bundle out India on a paltry 180 runs. Starc was India's chief destroyer. He gave the hosts a dream start by removing Yashasvi Jaiswal with the first ball of the match and ended with 6 wickets to his name. In World Chess Championship, Indian challenger D. Gukesh and China's world champion Ding Liren will look to have a breakthrough after a series of draws when they meet in Game 10 on Saturday. The draw on Thursday in Game 9, which was the 7th of the match and the 6th on the trot, has left both players on an identical score of 4.5 points each. Ding had not won a classical chess game since January 2024 before the championship began on the 25th of November at the resort's World Sentosa in Singapore, but stunned the world with a victory in Game 1 before losing to Gukesh in Game 3. The other 7 matches so far have ended in a draw. If both the players are still level on points after their 14th and final classical game next Thursday, half-hour rapid and, if needed, 3-minute blitz tiebreakers will decide the winner next Friday. On to soccer now. Argentine soccer great Lionel Messi was named Major League Soccer's most valuable player on Friday. After captaining Inter Miami to a record-breaking regular season campaign, Messi was handed the award after his performance helped Miami to a record regular season points tally of 74, earning the club its first ever Supporters' Shield. The 37-year-old Argentine finished the regular season with a league-leading 36 goal contributions. Manchester City midfielder Kevin De Bruyne's future at the club is still uncertain, with coach Pep Guardiola remaining coy on whether the Belgian will sign an extension to his expiring contract. The 33-year-old De Bruyne scored a goal and set up another as City won for the first time in 8 games on Wednesday in a 3-0 Premier League victory over Nottingham Forest. However, his contract expires next year, and according to reports, have recently linked him with a move away from the Etihad. Guardiola now hopes that De Bruyne will have another strong performance when they face Crystal Palace in the league on Saturday. An Olympic-themed Christmas tree illuminated Milan's famous Piazza Duomo on Friday, 14 months before in fact it hosts the 2026 Winter Games. The The 27.5-meter Norwegian spruce tree is adorned with Olympic and Paralympic branding for the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Thousands of residents gathered in the center of the city for the ceremony. India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platform. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. So if you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. That's all in this edition of DD India Live, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. This is Mumnun Bhattacharya from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.